Okay, so are you ready to like dive deep? Because today we're going to unlock this secret weapon that your body uses to like stay in tip-top shape. We're talking all about autophagy, and don't worry, we'll totally explain exactly what that means.
Yeah, autophagy, it's a word that gets thrown around like a lot these days, and for good reason. It's a super fascinating process that's like key to our health.
You got that right. This deep dive was actually requested by you, our amazing listener.
Yeah.
You wanted like the inside scoop on autophagy, and we are like serving it up straight from this brand new scientific review article. It's called Autophagy in its proper context. Now, this paper is, well, it's a bit of a beast, packed with
Yeah.
technical terms and all that, but that's what we're here for.
Yeah, consider this your cheat sheet, right? To understanding the like most exciting points of all this new research without needing a PhD in cellular biology or anything like that.
Exactly. So first things first, what exactly is autophagy? Think of it like this. Okay, so your cells are like these mini cities, constantly buzzing with activity. They're building, producing, transporting things, And just like with like any city, that creates waste.
And no one wants their cells to become overrun with trash, right? Like, ooh, that's where autophagy steps in. It's your body's way of like cleaning house at the cellular level.
So it's like our cells have their own built-in recycling and waste removal system. That's so cool.
Exactly. Autophagy helps to clear out the damaged cell parts, breaks them down, and this is the cool part, uses those broken down pieces to build brand new healthy cell components.
Whoa. It's like turning trash into treasure, but on a microscopic scale.
That's a great way to put it. And there's not just one type of autophagy either. This research, it focuses on three main types. Each one has its own kind of specialty.
Ooh. Okay, let's break those down. Give us the autophagy A-team. I like it.
Okay, so first up, we've got macroautophagy. This is like the heavy lifter. It's responsible for clearing out the big stuff, like think damaged proteins,
Huh.
worn out organelle, the big stuff. It's like taking out the big trash bags. Macroautophagy uses these like special sacs called autophagosomes to engulf all this cellular waste, and then they transport it to lysosomes.
Lysosomes, those are like the recycling centers of the cell, right?
Spot on. They break down the waste into reusable
Yeah.
materials. Okay, and then next we have microautophagy. This one's like a bit more direct. The lysosomes themselves, they directly engulf smaller bits of cellular waste, kind of like a built-in vacuum cleaner.
So macro is the big trash pickup. Micro is the everyday vacuuming. Got it. What's the third type?
Okay, the third type is called chaperone-mediated autophagy, and this one is like highly selective. Think of it like a VIP escort service, but for specific proteins that need to be broken down. So these proteins, they have like a special tag that flags them, and then chaperone proteins, they act as guides, and they bring them straight to the lysosome for disposal.
Okay, so we've got the big trash removal, the smaller cleanups, and the VIP service for specific proteins. That's amazing. But, like, why should we care about all of this? What's the big deal about autophagy anyway?
Well, this is where it gets really fascinating because autophagy isn't just about keeping our cells tidy. It's like deeply connected to our overall health and how we age.
Okay, now you've got my attention. Tell us more about this connection.
So when autophagy is functioning properly, it's like a fountain of youth for our cells, right? Helping them stay in top shape and repair damage more effectively.
So, are you saying that problems with autophagy could be linked to aging?
Exactly. Research is showing more and more that disruptions in autophagy are associated with age-related decline and a bunch of different diseases.
That makes sense. If our cells can't clean up after themselves and repair themselves properly, they're going to start showing their age, just like we do.
Hmm.
But it sounds like the benefits of autophagy go beyond just aging, right?
Absolutely. It plays this like crucial role in our immune system, helping our bodies fight off infections and inflammation.
So it's like autophagy is training our immune cells to be lean, mean fighting machines.
Mm.
I knew there had to be a reason why this whole process sounded so important.
And if that wasn't enough, autophagy is also deeply intertwined with metabolic health, influencing how our bodies use energy from food, which has big implications for conditions like obesity and diabetes.
Wow. So we're talking about a process that affects how we age, our immunity, our metabolism. That's incredible. It makes you wonder, though, can we influence autophagy ourselves, or are we just along for the ride?
That is the million-dollar question. And the good news is we're not just passive bystanders. The choices we make every single day can either boost or hinder our cells' cleaning crew.
That's so empowering. So it's not all about genetics. Like, our daily habits actually have a say in how well our cells clean up after themselves. I love that. So give us the good stuff. What are some things we can do to, boost our autophagy and keep those cellular cleaning crews in tip-top shape?
Well, let's start with the kind of the obvious one, what we eat, right? The research is actually crystal clear that diet plays a huge role in regulating autophagy.
Makes sense to me. Food is fuel, after all.
Right. And the type of fuel matters. The Mediterranean diet, for example, which is packed with like fruits, veggies, whole grains, olive oil, fish. It's been shown like time and time again to boost autophagy.
Yeah, that totally tracks. The Mediterranean diet is like always praised for its health benefits, almost like a gold standard.
Exactly. And then like on the flip side, a Western diet, which is loaded with like all the processed foods, sugar, and unhealthy fats, that tends to like hinder autophagy.
Okay, so our food choices, they really do make a difference, even down to how our cells function. This is fascinating. And what about like fasting? I've heard that can trigger autophagy.
You heard right. Both calorie restriction, meaning like reducing your overall calorie intake, but like without missing out on essential nutrients or anything. And intermittent fasting, which cycles between periods of eating and not eating, those have both been shown to activate autophagy. It's like hitting the like turbo button on your cellular recycling centers.
So when we like restrict calories or fast, we're basically telling ourselves to like step up their cleaning and repair game. It's like hitting the reset button for our bodies.
That's a great analogy. And the benefits of these practices are like pretty remarkable. We see improved metabolic health, reduced inflammation, and even potential anti-aging effects.
Music to my ears. I'm adding like boost autophagy to my list of reasons to eat healthy and give intermittent fasting a try. What about exercise? Does that factor in too?
Absolutely. Physical activity, particularly like endurance and strength training, has been shown to enhance autophagy in a bunch of different tissues. The specifics, they can vary depending on like the type of exercise and the tissues involved, but overall, exercise is a huge win for your cells.
So hitting the gym not only benefits our muscles and heart, but also gives our cells a good workout too. Talk about a win-win situation.
Exactly. But while exercise is fantastic for autophagy, skimping on sleep is one of the like surest ways to sabotage it.
Yeah.
This research highlights how sleep deprivation, especially in like brain regions related to memory like the striatum and hippocampus, it negatively affects autophagy.
Wow, so pulling all-nighters isn't just bad for our brains in the short term, but could also mess with like long-term cellular cleanup. Something to think about next time I'm tempted to binge watch my favorite show late at night.
It's definitely food for thought. And speaking of things that are bad for us, let's talk about smoking. That's a huge no-no when it comes to autophagy. Smoking directly impairs the process, particularly in the lungs, which is a major contributor to COPD.
So smoking not only damages our lungs, but also sabotages the very mechanism that helps repair that damage. That's a double whammy if I've ever heard one.
It really is. And while we're on the topic of like lifestyle choices, alcohol's relationship with autophagy is a bit more complex. Moderate alcohol intake might actually activate autophagy, but like chronic heavy drinking has the opposite effect. It inhibits the process and causes damage, especially to the liver.
So as with many things in life, moderation is key when it comes to alcohol and its effects on autophagy. What about air pollution? I've heard that can impact our health in like a bunch of ways, but I never knew it could affect autophagy as well.
Yeah, you're right. Air pollution, especially like fine particulate matter,
Yeah.
it's been shown to kind of trigger autophagy as like a stress response, which sounds good, but it can actually cause damage, particularly in the lungs and skin.
You're telling me. It's wild to think that something we can't even see, like air pollution, can influence how our cells clean themselves up. It really highlights how interconnected our bodies are with the environment. What about sunlight? I know it's essential for vitamin D, but too much can be harmful. Does that impact autophagy too?
Yeah, for sure. Sunlight, it's like a double-edged sword. While we need it for vitamin D production, excessive UV exposure, especially those UVA rays, can disrupt that delicate balance of autophagy, which,
Uh-oh.
can contribute to skin aging and even increase the risk of skin cancer.
That makes a lot of sense. It seems like there's a sweet spot for almost everything when it comes to maintaining healthy autophagy. Too much or too little can throw things off balance. What about stress? Does that have a role to play?
Oh, absolutely. Chronic stress can really mess with autophagy, especially in the brain.
Really?
Yeah. Studies have even linked it to like cognitive decline and things like that.
So not only does stress make us feel awful in the moment, but it could also be harming our brains at the cellular level by like interfering with autophagy. That's yet another reason to prioritize stress management techniques like exercise, meditation, or spending time in nature.
For sure. It really emphasizes that like mind-body connection and how important it is to, take care of both our mental and physical health.
It certainly does.